Right, welcome everybody. I'm Wendy Castle with One Bite Nutrition, here with one of my amazing dietitians, Nikki Bomar. We're going to talk about sleep and appetite and how that plays a role in your general health. So, Nikki, tell us more about sleep and appetite and how that affects people.
Yeah, so sleep is something that we ask everyone about, right? It's on our intake forms. People don't usually understand why it's on there. Which again, upon initial look, sleep doesn't seem to have anything related to do with nutrition, but they really couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, you're right. So, sleep does have a big impact, especially on our hormones. So, do you have any sort of advice or guidance for people?
Yeah, so those key hormones that are going to be affected by sleep are those ghrelin, which that one tells you when to eat, and then leptin, that tells you when you're full. So when we don't sleep enough, those ghrelin levels increase, and then those leptin levels decrease. So we tend to eat more while feeling less full from what we are eating.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember those college nights where you're up staying up late studying and you're just like snacking, trying to keep your eyes awake. And yeah, I mean it's true. Your hunger levels go up because you're trying to keep your body operating and give it energy when you're trying to stay awake. So how about food choices? Will it affect those at all?
Yeah, so when we're hungry, our brain really likes to look for a quick fix, right? It sees we're low on energy, it seeks that way to fix it quickly. So we'll likely find ourselves with more cravings and less willpower. So we're making different decisions than we would normally make. So, right, especially if it's, midday and you're constantly craving, grabbing at that candy jar or whatever it is that it's usually whatever you tend to like, whether it's salty or sweet, but whatever you tend to like our brain is really smart and it says, well, if I get her to crave this, she's probably going to eat it. So let me do that so I can get my quick energy fix.
Yep, absolutely. So it's not really a lack of willpower. It's more your brain chemistry working against you. So to advise people, how much sleep do they need to try to prevent this from happening?
So a lot of studies have showed that a minimum of 7 hours is needed per night to help us control, specifically our weight is what they were looking at. And so, okay, notice I said per night, not on average. So a lot of patients will come and say, well, I had an average of, 7 hours of sleep, but some nights I got 9, some nights I got 5. Okay. Well, that consistency really matters as well. So irregular sleep can lead to many more issues than just that hunger. It affects our circadian rhythms and even our hormone balances beyond just those eating hormones.
Yeah. What about the people that don't really have a whole lot of option in regards to like staying up at night? Like, so our night shift workers, those docs, those nurses, allied staff that work in the ER, a lot of our, packing and mailing staff, sometimes work night shifts. First responders, they can't change their schedule. Do you have any recommendations for them?
Yeah, so this is definitely a huge topic, right? Kind of like you said, a lot of those, right? We're sitting here trying to promote health. A
Mhm.
lot of those, careers that you just mentioned are in healthcare, right? But yeah, these workers, they can deal with increased hunger and even disrupted metabolism, especially the longer that, we work night shift or we do, I'm nights, I'm days, I'm nights, I'm days. But working on keeping that meal timing consistent and then having those balanced meals, it can help. Is it going to completely, negate staying up all night and that's when I work? No, but it can help you get through that. Right, working on our sleep hygiene and environment. So, do I come home after working a 12-hour shift and have to stay up the whole time? Or can I go to sleep when I get home? That's going to matter too. So, or one thing I do with my patients is okay, here's the time I wake up, here's the time I go to bed. What do I do in between there? When do those meals need to happen and what do they need to look like so that I can get the most, like bang for my buck out of my schedule that I can? Because again, like you said, we don't always have control over our schedule.
Right, absolutely. So it sounds like working towards consistency seems to be the way to go. Anybody needing a little help or direction in that, feel free to reach out. You can go to our website, onebitenutrition.com. You can book direct on there, or you can comment below and we'll reach out to you.